Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Okay. Mm. I started, it's like while I type my novel and work on my activity book, it'll be my first activity book that I'll be publishing. So I am trying to make sure that I create a platform or a layout that will be continuous for all of them. It'll probably change or morph into something different, but I am trying to anyway. So while I work on that, I have been listening to either murder direct like documentaries or other documentaries, but yeah, criminal ones. But then I started looking up some like or on Netflix I went searched and I think it was crime, but it wasn't documentary, but it's called The Law According to Lydia Poet. And oh, watching the first episode and I already have to pause it because it just reminds me of a lot of the men that I keep running into. Miss like Lydia Poet had got well she I just found out she has her certification in teaching so she can be a teacher, which men back then allowed women to be teachers. But she also has her law degree, she could be a lawyer. She got offered to do a case, but then there's a panel of men within her city who called her up and basically telling her that's laughable. A woman, that's not a woman's place. And like, I have only been watching for about 19 minutes and I'm already infuriated, but at the same time, I'm infuriated because I am still fighting some of these battles in different ways. And it's not the law part, but starting my own business. If you only knew how many men told me it's not for a woman, or a woman's supposed to be dainty and a businesswoman isn't soft and all this other garbage, it just makes me want to just vomit. And even her brother, it's like she had to beg to get back into her house because she had to leave her residence because since they won't let her be a lawyer, she can't get paid. And if she can't get paid, she can't pay her rent. And I guess he's a lawyer too. So then she was begging him to work with her and she would tell him everything to say. But he's like, that's not a woman's place. It's like a woman is not supposed to be in law. That's not what you're made for. And then, oh my gosh, and then you find out that I believe her sister or her niece is in the process of being married. And he was like, because him and his, I believe, wife are talking about, yes, you're supposed to plan on either being a teacher or being someone's wife. And what shocked me the most is when the wife had the nerve to say, well, if you were meant to be a lawyer, then you would have been a man or you wouldn't have been a woman. Oh, do you know how much I want to scream in a pillow? It's like I know this is a show, but I wanted to scream so badly. Because as a woman, we're still fighting this. And it's like I forgot which episode it's on with my channel, but there are men who have said I'm crazy. And especially there's one who he's literally trolled me at least 5 or 6 times. And every each like either politically he hates me or he just hates that I want absolutely nothing to do with it. I don't know. But it's like men keep saying that I must be bored, but they write me. I have not written like over 97 or 98% of these men I have never spoken to. And 99% of them They write me first. I only reply to them is if they go overboard, like total racist, total like I mean even but now if they do go total racist, I'm just like, okay, more for YouTube, thank you, more for social media, thank you, more evidence because when I try to tell people how men treat me, they think I'm a liar. So more receipts, thank you, cha-ching. Okay, let's keep going. But with my children's books, with my novels, wanting characters with disability representation, a lot of these men, that's not what you're supposed to do. Oh, you think you're going to save the world? Grown men, uncles, cousins have told me, oh, so you think you're going to save the world? You think with how you walk, you're going to be able to do much of anything? And then I remember about my mom. It was like when my mom and dad married after, like my mom was working at a factory or something like that, assembling or whatever. And my dad saw how smart she was. And my dad was like, no, no, no. And he paid for her to get a bachelor's. And see, this is what I wish I could find a man that was like, well, I mean, I'm not saying he's perfect. No, I'm not like, I know some flaw. Like, oh, if you watch the oil change episode, the sweetest day oil change episode, but I mean, yeah, so I know he's not perfect, but at the same time, he he saw more in my mother. He saw more in a woman. He saw the capabilities of what a woman can do. And oh, like there are some times where he tries to limit females or like whatever, but at the same time at when it came to education, when it came to career, I give him credit for that. But it's really sad how in this generation so many men are threatened. They're hurt. Their emotions are so hurt because now women are owning the businesses, getting the education, and striving to be more. And we're not just looking to get married to a man that all he wants to do is play video games all night, not focused on anything that's worthwhile. And then he wants to make kids but not raise kids, and he puts all that responsibility on her. And then when it comes to cooking, he gets upset when some nights she gets tired and she's like, can we just Uber something? Yeah, no. But with this show, it's just watching only 19 minutes of it. It's like I literally just want to scream and almost cry, but at the same time, it's motivating me because now I'm like, okay, when, especially after this election, and especially after, like, I needed this show 4 years ago when I first got diagnosed. I needed the okay, not almost 11 years ago, so that when I met Mr. No Heart, I could have been like, just keep going, keep striving, even though your parents don't think much of you, your family doesn't think much of you, your so-called friends hope you drop out of grad school, and no one thinks you're going to be able to publish a book, no one thinks you're going to be able to start your business. Like, this is the kind of show we need. This is the kind of encouragement we need, because now we have women that voted for Trump because they're okay with the scenario that this character is in. They're okay with that, and that disgusts me. And that's my opinion. But at the same time, that shows me my demographic, because like with shows like this, I'm like the demographic for it, because I want to encourage girls to strive for more than just looking for a man to have babies. We're made for much more than that. We're capable of so much more than that. If we have brains and a body, hearts, lungs, blood in our veins, and it's pumping, we need to live our lives, because I know women who, that's how they were brought up, that's how they grew up. So after high school, they got married and then they had babies, and they were focused all about their kids. But once their kids went away, what happened? Or they were busting their tushies, raising their kids, and next thing you know, their husband found another woman and then dropped her, and now she's on her own. But what job does she have? What money does she have? And I don't know, just watching the like this character, I can already tell. Oh, I'm gonna get into this. Like, yeah, I'm just like, ooh, this. It's like I can't stand some of the old times, especially maybe it's just the romance versions of it because I love Sherlock Holmes. I love like that's. Oh, I have the full collection and in leather. Like, oh, it's a beautiful book too. But maybe it's like it's I just need to keep to the mystery part because watching even like watching her body language is like I'm probably gonna have to rewatch because while I'm typing the novel, but there's sometimes with the pauses and then like with the music I'm like, huh, and also since like I write crime, so that's one reason I'm watching because I want to see like, okay, how are they gonna look at the body and the investigation, and what she asks the person, it's like how's their tone, how's their body, and I watch real life crimes too because I've watched so many of those, but yes, yesterday I think I've watched about 6 or 7, and some of them were just jaw-droppingly emotionally just these people are unstable, so I kind of need a break from that. And so this is emotional in a different way where it's encouraging me to keep going and striving, and so I think I'm going to really like and enjoy it. So but oh, 19 minutes and they've already got me all the way just, but at the same time that stirs my patty, and that's helping me with my creativity. And because even right now it's like part of me is like about a month ago I already started looking up, okay, with detectives, how do they ask their questions, how do they like emotionally, how do they get deeper, and so I'm gonna start off with kind of basic plain questions and things, and but then it's like I've already started creating the list of how are they going to get dig deeper and like what's going to happen and like what patterns and stuff like that. So, but I'm not going to let a man tell me what I can't do, what I'm not able, especially with being a woman, being a person of color, and having a disability. I have people tell me because it reminds me I was during COVID. I broke up with my ex, Mr. No Heart, and then I met this one guy virtually. We matched. He's on the spectrum, and I mentioned that for good reason. But he kept saying, "Oh, you're so amazing. I don't care if you have a disability. I'll help you out. It's cool." And all this just garbage. But then it's like he picked me up right around my birthday because he was like, I want to take you out for your birthday. We can watch a movie together." Mm. The moment after, because he knew I walked with a walker, he knew of like I told him about my disability. I texted him the name of it so he can look it up so that he would have like information. But he said, "Oh, it's not needed." And so it's like, man, if women give you information, use it. Because a lot of you men don't like reading dating profiles. But then when you start asking the woman questions that are in the dating profile, that gets on my nerves. And that's why I tell men, it's in my profile. And then men want to block me. And I'm just like, well, if you can't read, well, one, you probably voted for Trump. But if you can't read, then I don't know what to tell you. And we probably wouldn't get along that well anyway. But he picked me up and then picked up some food, then went to his house because we were going to put on a movie. But as soon as he put on the movie, he was so busy that I ended up just watching the movie by myself. He was outside, and then his dad came over, and I think he called his dad, and him and his dad had a talk about my disability. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the movie, he said his stomach hurt, And so he just took me back home. But while driving home, he told me, yeah, you should just stay in the house. Yeah, you shouldn't get a job. You shouldn't, yeah, just stay at home. It's like people like you. And oh, if he wasn't driving, if he wasn't driving, because the entire hour and a half drive, he just, and yeah, because it was heavy, like I think it was an accident or something like that that just made it longer. But I held back the tears until I got back into the house in my room. And I remember passing by like one of my family members. How'd it go? And I just said, yeah, it was fine. Oh, you're not smiling. Doesn't look like it was fine. And I just remember got in my room, closed the door, and I bursted in tears. And a lot of these guys, like once they find out I have a disability, but then they hear it, some of them like look me up, like, and that's a really odd thing. Okay, guys, like if if you don't want to call a woman, but you're gonna look her up on LinkedIn and all of the social medias and everything like that, it's like don't yeah, it's like to me don't do that. It's like if we have a great conversation and then you wanna, but I'd rather you give me a heads up because I'm not one of those people. Like to me, I'm just like I want to get first. Let me hear the tone of your voice. Let me hear how we connect. Let me hear, but at the same time, I'm going to ask you questions you are not going to like, because even in 2020, I was asking men, "Who did you vote for?" It's like some people are just now going to start asking that question now. I asked that all the way back with President Barack Obama. Yeah, it's like because yeah, and I'm really into politics. A lot of these men are not into politics, and they don't want me to be into politics. There are some men who tell me that's not a woman's place. A women don't belong in men's decisions. And part of me wants to know, why in the world do men have control over women's bodies and over women's lives? It's not just abortion, but even with divorce. If you don't know some of the mess men put women through, and some of it isn't life or death, some of it isn't, but it's traumatizing when a man, even especially if a man cheats, and if a man keeps lying, and a man keeps taking advantage of you. I know because Mr. No Heart took advantage of me, and Mr. Lockakey, because remember he owed me money. It's like I broke up with him, but I couldn't take it anymore. And I asked him a few times for some of the money, but he was so broke it was a joke. But I just remember months later, because he kept looking me up. I had to block him on almost every social media, and like I remember he called me screaming, crying. That's the one where he sounded like a screaming cat. Like one of my close friends. It's like yeah, it's like he like I was at his business because I was his marketing rep, and I was doing work and everything. And my ex called, and I'm like, "What do you want? What's going on?" And oh, baby, oh my God, I love you, I need you, and it's just like, and then all of a sudden my friend comes out. Is that a cat screaming? What? It's like I bursted out laughing. I'm like, no, that's my ex, and so then I was like, okay, where's my money? I want my money. And he was like, well, you'll get your money once you get back with me, and then you have to sleep with me a certain amount of times. And if you don't make up your mind, see, this is where it's like these are the type of men. These are the type of men. It's like if you don't make up your mind within 2 weeks, I'm gonna double the parameters. This is what men think of us. And then with Mr. No Heart, every time, every time. Oh, sorry, my bad. It's like I paused it, but yeah, I'm gonna be getting right back to this after I finish. But yeah, I forgot. I was like, oh, let me pause this, but I didn't know I was gonna be recording the up. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, you need. Okay, you know what? Everybody, like everybody that follows me, Lydia Poet, because maybe that will be one of my first lives, because I want to do it based off books, but also shows, especially shows that either it's the masculinity that gets on my nerves, or the like with the history and the feminism, and just because especially while I write my books, I'm studying villains, but also the feminist trauma and how like the strength of a human being, but not just physically, mentally, and things like that, and then the situations that women have to overcome, but and or the fictional, or I want to alter some of the things within history that happened but in a new way. And I'm just, yeah, 9 minutes. So I'm very excited to watch this. I haven't seen one person of color though. It's like part of me was just like, okay, am I gonna see that episode 2, 3, season 2? And can they not be in jail? Or can they not be a servant? Probably not. This is probably just going to be a basic white, white cash show, whatever. But I'm like, okay, it's not going to be like Bridgerton, but okay, not every show is as amazing. And you know what? I need to talk about Bridgerton too. But oh, and I do have one episode on Handicapable Black Nerd channel where I did do a makeover of some of the things that that Detroit Bridgerton party messed up, and I'm going to be redoing the menu. So stay tuned on that one. So when it comes to character development, I want to make sure they are as 3D as possible, and I want to show the emotional side. And even with Lydia, they're doing a good job. The beginning scene of her, she was getting it. It's like she cute too, but yeah, she was getting it too. And I was like, girl, okay. And it was like, I mean, he's not exactly my type, but I'm not gonna say he ain't cute. Nope, I am not gonna say he is not cute. So but anyways, like I would never have a chance with him, so it doesn't matter if I think he's attractive or not. But I mean, cause yeah, he's handsome, but I wouldn't. But oh, let's just say the sound she was making pleasant sounds that showed that he was that at least she said he could do better, but it sounded like he was doing pretty good work with what I heard. And if you don't know, ask your aunt, your auntie, whatever. Like if you ask your mama, that might be a very uncomfortable situation. Yeah, because I don't think any of us really want to know about our. Yeah, no, we don't. We don't. We really don't. That's a nightmare. Anyway, anyway, it's like, but then it's like you saw her in that situation, and then you saw that you heard that she owes rent, and so then you heard her going to the courthouse, and then she's going to see the person that's her client, and it's just like and then the frustration that when she has to beg for her brother to let her in the house, and it's like so you're already seeing her character develop, you're already seeing her anger, but her passion, and you're just the combination is very artistic and exciting. And so it's like this is the kind of character where I'm just like, okay, okay, let's get to work on this one. Yes. So I'm gonna continue typing and writing, and I it's like even when she was talking to the prisoner, that has me thinking too. That has me thinking too. But yeah, it's like my story is totally different because I have, well, it's urban fantasy with mystery, romance, like aspects to it. But what kind of book are you going to be working on, or what kind of book are you reading now? If you can put that in the description. And are any of you guys watching Lydia Poet? It's like I want to hear what you think of it. And especially if you finish season one, please don't tell because I'm watching. Like I just literally started watching it like about a half hour ago, whatever. But let me know what you think. And if like I love documentaries and mystery. Okay, now I'm saying that Paul versus Tyson, like I do like let's just say like I hope Tyson wins. I doubt it because of his age, but if he can just get one really good swing at that Trump supporting, ignorant, not like, yeah, I don't have any nice words to say about Jake Paul. I don't. I don't have anything nice to say about him. And I've never cared about him either. I never, like, I've always had suspicion about him, but when I saw that, like, I think I saw the reaction video from the cutie from the Young Turks. Oh, he is so adorable. And he's smart. Oh, it's like, yeah, I'm a sapiosexual. So, yeah, it's like, oh, see, if he was in that first scene, I'd be like, girl, let's get some popcorn. Good. Just like that Campbell's commercial back in the day. But anyway, ah, yeah, I'm probably gonna have a lot to talk about with this one, but the 9 minutes got me. It's got me encouraged though, because now I have another episode I can upload, and I'm gonna start putting descriptions in the box. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, how do I describe this? I don't know what to say, and I am working on my novel, but it's not done yet. And I do have books, but is like and but yeah, they met Amazon's messed up my goal is to get my book on my books, but yeah, my novel on, but also children's books on 30 book selling sites. I've been doing my research and finding things, but it's really busy trying to be a businesswoman because writing the books and then like with my search engine and then creating the website and social media period outside of like the SEO and social media. I kind of separate into two different things, and then creating the artboard for my illustrator, and then with the greeting cards writing all the sayings and everything like that for each card, and then buying the materials during research to make sure that I have good quality materials, and then the branding, copywriting, and it's a lot of work. And a lot of men don't think much of me, and or they tell me that instead of wasting my time with that, I should just make babies. And or don't you want a future? Make It's like you have to make your future. And I'm like, well, at least I'm creating my passion as my future, so that little kids like me and kids with disabilities and kids without disabilities, as they grow, they won't be ignorant, and or they can actually treat people with respect that are different than them. And having novels where the main character can be like, well, I won't say not like me, but more relatable to me. And the people who don't want to read a book with a main character with a disability or a person of color or female, all right, whatever. More for everybody else. But you guys know the drill. This is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too. And okay, guys, watch this series with me. Okay? Okay. And if you have any other suggestions, put it in the box while I type up these novels. And it's like my goal is to try to create 5 new activity book pages a day because I want to get at least one or two activity books published by end of year. Because yeah, we don't know what's going to be going on next year. Anyway, I need to get to work. Take care and work on your goals. Don't let anybody stop you, especially if it's for love, quote unquote. Because yeah, some of these people, love is just something so that they can use you.